Okay, so in this video, I want to go over a few accounts to give you some real world examples of what we're talking about here because emulation is the biggest thing that I keep talking about, and being able to pull inspiration from a multitude of places in order to create your own unique way of doing that is the best way to go. So, first, I want to start off with Jacob Martin, who joined Modern Mastery HQ, the private community, and he took action very, very fast, right? And he has been growing much faster than other people. And I want to see what he's doing right, okay? So, first off, he has a great header. This could be easily done in Canva, canva.com, and you can watch YouTube tutorials on how to create a banner. They have templates for you, all that other stuff. But he has a great banner, right? It gives off a black and white vibe. It's very serious, professional. Jacob Martin has a good design. He talks about mindset, productivity, self improvement. He has a good profile picture with like a gradient background. It might be photoshopped onto there. He's looking professional. It's a good headshot. Personally, I would change the background. It seems like, I don't know, it could be white. There's something off there. It's a good profile picture either way, and he's gaining followers, so you can't judge it too much. But let's look at the name, Jacob Martin, solid mindset and vision builder. It's good. I think it could be done without that, but it's again, I want to also stress the importance that your content is going to be the main thing that pulls in followers. Your content will be the main thing, but it is still very important that you have a somewhat optimized profile. You have to show people that you are a creator rather than a consumer, and that you're providing some form of value. So he has that. That looks good. Teaching you how to achieve mindset mastery with an unconquerable vision and a plan for action. So it's solid, right? And this shows you that he's teaching you something. He's teaching you mindset mastery and with an unconquerable vision and a plan for action. So he has the what and the how it's going to be done. But one thing I'm not seeing is the why. So in the next section, I'll go over my thought processes behind my previous bio and just profile in general. But that's the main thing. If you give people what you're going to teach, you're going to spark some interest and they're going to follow you, and your content should reflect that. So he also has CPA, 100K plus in professional sales, modern mastery, baby. But he has some social proof here, right? Where he's made a decent amount of money. He has the link tree in bio where it shows that he's actually creating something. It gives people somewhere else to go, and it shows that he may have further value to provide for the people that are looking for it, right? So it's good to have that there. The next thing, his pin tweet. So above the fold, everything you see in this little box is important and will determine whether or not someone follows you if they're not already decided to follow you based on your content, right? So he has a good tweet here that has a lot of engagement. So he wrote this tweet based on what was already working on Twitter. There's a lot of people talking about focus, productivity, and using this style of a thread. And so he wrote this. It did pretty well. I believe he sent it to me. I forget what happened. I think I retweeted this one, but he got some good retweets. So let's see why it popped off like closer to the beginning, if people still have it retweeted, because I know big accounts usually unretweet stuff. So you got Jay. But either way, what he did was have other people retweet this. So I think this is a decent. But he probably had friends that he sent it to. He had some form of an engagement group ready. And that's the main thing. That's how you grow, which we will talk about further when we talk about content creation and growth. But it's looking solid, and his content is solid. Plan plus that did well. His content is doing pretty good without any shares, so that's a good sign. And again, you can't expect much engagement when you're first starting out, but he has the content down, right? He has some kind of a hook, productivity thought. Ooh, what's the productivity thought? Fast track yourself into a flow state with momentum. Okay, keep going. He's got this line spacing. He's letting people read down the page. He has the list, which gives people multiple opportunities to like and engage with the tweet. My Ideal Sunday, this hits on the authenticity pillar, where I know that he's pulling inspiration from other accounts, where I know Sahil Bloom does this a good amount, but he talks about what he does on Sundays, right? And then what would you add? So one thing with this is I wouldn't recommend asking a question unless you know that it's going to be seen by a lot of people, right? If you have like 300 to 500 followers, you don't have that many people looking at your content. Asking a question is going to make you upset because not many people are going to answer it. And the only reason you would want to ask a question is if you have a lot of people that are going to answer it, and that will boost its engagement and make it show up on more timelines so you can get more followers. But overall, he's doing very well with spacing things out. He's doing very well with concise sentences. He's doing well with making sense. He has like the contrast here: consumers do this, creators do this, right? And we're going to be going into all of this when we talk about content, of course, but it looks good. And so now let's go over Wiz, because I talked about profile pictures. Like I mentioned, if you're ugly, you may not want to have yourself as the profile picture. I don't say this as offense. I'm just trying to be real with you here and like save you a lot of pain, because it's proven fact in a sense that like people trust less attractive people more, and you can create some kind of an avatar for yourself to show that human connection. It can be a logo, or like a logo that represents your brand that you can pay people on Fiverr or Upwork to create, or it can be something like this. I believe this is an NFT. I'm not entirely sure, but it can be just an avatar to show that you are a human, and other things like that. And so let's see here. He's got a good header image. Again, it doesn't really matter. It just has to be professional, and it has to show that you're a creator. So he talks about marketing agencies, e-com, NFTs, spirituality. He's the founder of Utopia. That's authority with a number. That's attention grabbing, showing how many people he's helping. Marketers control what the world sees. Everything you need with a point. So he's directing attention to his link with Wiz of Ecom. Now, the difference, the link tree is good, but then this is even better. If you can have like a branded link just by buying a domain and hooking it up to a site, you can do this with Review as well. When you create your newsletter, you can follow the steps to add a custom domain. But it's good because it looks good. It looks clean. It looks like he knows what he's doing, right? And another thing to keep into account with profiles is that if you have big accounts follow you, that's social proof as well, because it's like, oh, like when you look at it, it's like, oh, Dan follows this guy. That must mean he knows what he's talking about, right? And so the next thing, he has a lot of social proof on this thread, and it's very actionable, and it's just a crazy thread, right? So I want to make money online, but I have no idea which direction to choose. He is focusing on a low level of awareness person that he can help and eventually educate further to join Wiz of Ecom. So this is a very basic thread where he's targeting people that want to make money online but have no idea which direction to choose. Boom, right? Easy. So this knocks out 2-in-1, where it knocks out 3-in-1, where it's very beginner level. So you're targeting a broad range of person that you are eventually going to educate to the point of having better problems in a sense. And then it has high social proof. So this as a whole is a very good profile. And now Blake Burge. So he blew up out of nowhere. I don't really follow him, but he went viral. So that's a big reason as to why, or he keeps going viral as to what works. So you can study this guy if you want to come up with some good thread ideas. But overall, I want to show you like how simple this can be, helping you learn while I do the same. If that isn't extremely simple, you can make a spin-off of that if you want to, if you're very beginner level and you want to show what you're learning, sharing insights on business, productivity, and building a better you fan of bourbon. So he's got some authenticity there. If you like Bitcoin, that's cool. But he's also he's showing you what you're going to learn about business, productivity, building a better you. There's a lot of clarity here. And now he talks a lot about Excel. So he has an Excel course and he's directing attention to that and has the landing page. I would have a custom domain for this. But yeah, you can see that the virality doesn't really match how many newsletter subscribers he has. So I would just pay attention to that. But overall, it's a good bio and it's showing that people are following him. And then that's a good banner, right? So all of this is up to you and your creativity. I just want to give you the tools to pull inspiration from. So the next one is Adit. He's growing very quick. Tweets on content, marketing, and online business. Again, just straight into the point, what they're going to learn. Mission, help 10,000 founders and managers build their online audiences. So that's like, you can see that he's targeting someone here, and he's also flexing future social proof. He's using his vision in this, right? What's his vision for the future? Help 10,000 founders, right? That's something worth following, because you could be one of those founders or managers that is going to build their online audience, right? So you can get creative with this and use your vision as a way to be like, hey, this is what we're working towards as a profile. Here's what I talk about. So he's talking about that, and that's the vessel or the how behind the why, right? He's using a lot of social proof. Current 200 plus with MakerMark School. Best links, boom. He has the review link here. So REVUE, that's the newsletter software that I continue telling you to sign up for if you haven't already. And then again, threads. You can start to study these. This has a lot of engagement. This thread doesn't really match what he's saying here, but that's perfectly fine, because as I said previously, what you're selling and your brand and your content are all separate things, especially as a personal brand. In this course, we're not talking about a very niche account that's focused on only selling and only talking about one thing. We're talking about mixing your interests and creating that brand and authority that works, but also attracts a large audience. So then you can educate them to the point of becoming this, of paying for your higher ticket service, or educating them to the point of even buying just a beginner level product, right? So that's the main thing. And then again, with Adit's a good looking guy, but the thing with this is like, if you don't have a great headshot, or you can't edit it to the point of it looking good or at least decent, then you can either pay someone or you can look up tutorials on how to kind of like animate your profile picture, right? I exit out, whatever. All right, Dickie Bush. So I talk about digital writing and digital business. Helped over 4,000 people start writing at Ship 30 for 30, former BlackRock trader turned digital builder. So he has a transformation implied here. So maybe this piques the interest of people that worked at a larger firm and want to transition online. He talks about digital writing and digital business. So he's very clear with what he talks about, his interests, right? The things that are in his domain of mastery that he is constantly dissecting and trying to create content around. And he has social proof, so helped over 4,000 people start writing. He's got the call to action. He also has one of those animated profile pictures. And the header image, again, it doesn't matter too much. I wouldn't stress it too much, because he probably has a reasoning behind this and some meaning behind it that I don't know. But you can't deny the results, right? And so here he has, again, a viral thread. It's social proof. This is what gets people to follow you. And here it talks about storytelling, which is about writers, entrepreneurs. It's very good. You can start to see the common themes here. Now the next one, Justin Welsh. Great example. So he has a lot going on here, right? He is promoting in the top, so it shows he's creating something. A lot of people think, oh, I don't want to promote all the time. If you have something worth promoting, then promote it. People aren't opposed to buying courses. People aren't opposed to being sold. And if you're upfront about it and authentic about it, then it works even better. And it shows that you know what you're talking about in these things. It adds some kind of authority there because you have created something that has a lot of value to it. And then he has more social proof here with Gumroad, Trends, Indie Hackers, Forbes. He has a solid name, Justin Welsh, the diversified solopreneur. So that's another thing, is you can kind of brand yourself as the main guy in one industry. But I really like what he's doing here. Again, it's like with the future vision, right? So building a portfolio of one-person businesses to 5 million in revenue. So one, you could be one of those one-person businesses if you follow that person. He's implying a transformation while at the same time flexing social proof and authority. The whole future thing is it works really well. Tweets and threads about the process. So he's also including what he talks about. So it seems there's a general theme here of share what you talk about, how you talk about it, and potentially add the why behind why you talk about it. So Sahil Bloom, I shared this tweet in the actual course itself, but let's look at this. Exploring my curiosity and sharing what I learn along the way. Simple as that. Gave up a Grand Slam on ESPN in 2012 and still waiting for it to land. So he's got a bit of humor. He's got some authority. He's used to play baseball. And it's very simple and straightforward. And he's very good at writing content relating to his curiosities. That's all that really matters in this game. And so another one, a bit different, is straight line advertising, right? So he's got the profile picture. He isn't necessarily a personal brand, but at the same time he is. He has a good banner. The original growth partner documenting everything on my way to earn 2 million in 2022, right? So it's partially like future, so his vision, and he's documenting the process here. So it's implied that he is sharing information that will also help you achieve this. And now he has a very actionable thread. Everyone on Twitter says to pick one high value skill, learn it for 3 to 12 months, then you'll magically make 10K a month. So here's how you actually choose a skill to make, right? He's targeting a problem, a very beginner level problem that will lead them and educate them to either becoming clients or buying a potential product of his or just boosting his authority, right? And so the last one is me. Okay, so I have decided to go the very minimalist route. So a few things in my thought process behind my profile. This, it kind of just looks good. It attracts the people that have that same vibe as me because the black and white kind of puts off like a designer vibe. To me, it represents like big cities. It represents like a coffee shop lifestyle in a sense, kind of. That's what it means to me. But then the profile picture. So the reason I'm looking to this way is because I'm directing attention to my content. Now, everyone, you don't have to do this, but I'm directing attention to my content. And now I've gone through multiple different profile variations, which I'll talk about in the next, the action steps at the end of this entire section. But the main thing is that I've switched around, and I eventually I have a lot of social proof that I can flex, but I choose not to. I've found that this just straightforward, simple, and having some form of authority, showing what I'm building, right? Showing what I'm building, meaning I provide some form of value that people may be interested in. And just talking about what I'm exploring. I share my discoveries here. It's as simple as that. And now this may or may not work well for beginner level accounts, but it really can, right? It really can if you write good content and have unique perspectives and are able to pull from multiple sources and just write good content. So next thing, ddanko.com, well branded, short, no like random URLs or something that's super long and just doesn't look good. And then I have a thread that has a lot of social proof. It's targeted at beginner level audience to start to educate them on a big part of my philosophy as a whole. And then a cool visual to catch attention and kind of show the vibe of my brand and what people can expect, right? So that is pretty much it for profiles. If you have any questions relating to profiles in general, feel free to pop them in the Discord. But I also want to just reiterate that a lot of this will come down to content, and that's why we're going to focus heavily on that in the next section of this bachelor's curriculum. And so for now, just focus on getting the bio right, or at least the first iteration out, get a good header out, get a good profile picture, start planning a pinned thread, possibly open up your newsletter, start posting content, start engaging with people. That's really it. So with that, I will see you in the next module.